Hello, welcome to the Legendary Roundup. Today, we're going to go through the 5 best sounding scenes from the 2014 film American Sniper. It is presented in Dolby Atmos. As always, spoilers ahead. Alright, so scene 1 begins at the beginning of the movie, and right away, it just jumps you into this intense warbling sound, like a womp, 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 and it's kind of there throughout the whole first 15 to 20 seconds. Then the tank rolls through, and when the tank rolls through, it carries a huge amount of presence with it. It really sounds like it's coming towards me. Huge amounts of bass right here. Second time the tank rolls through, again, it sounds really, really good. Lots of weight behind it. So right here, there's a little pan. And as he pans, there was a really quick burst of deep bass. And it kind of went and panned with him. So it went from the bottom kind of up to the top. So this scene, I would give it a 4. The amount of punchy bass that the tank provides, just right off the bat, love it. And also that intense warbling in the beginning was a really cool effect as well. Followed by that scene we just saw where there was this nice deep hit as he panned his scope. And that was a very cool sound effect. Alright, so this next scene starts around 25:50. And it's really Atmos heavy. There's lots of surround, lots of overhead right there. As they jump off of the Humvee, you can hear the thunder from overhead. You hear bombs going off in the upper right-hand side of the soundstage. Right there's a nice little rocket that just goes from the back left all the way through to the front left. Okay, again, once we're inside, you can hear the thunder again from directly overhead. So I think I'm going to give this scene a 3. It does the surrounds and Atmos channels really well. There's a lot of directionality with like the rocket that was going from back left to the front left. Thunder overhead was very nice and diffuse. So solid 3. So this next scene is a short one. It's at the 39-minute mark, and there's a helicopter that's taking off from the base. It's coming from behind you, and it goes straight across the top right of the screen, and you see the helicopter, which is a really cool effect. It's a nice little transition as well. Then it goes to the top center of your screen, which is really, really cool effect. There's a couple of bombs going off in the air in this scene as well. But this scene deserves a solid 3 just because of that really sweet helicopter sound going from the back to the front. And that's probably the best sounding helicopter overhead from this film. Alright, so this fourth scene starts off right around the 1 hour 45-minute mark. And it lasts for about a good 5 to 6 minutes. And it's pretty awesome throughout. So I'll just point out a few scenes. The first is the gun shots from his gun. You really feel them to see. Right there. Those gunshots hit pretty hard. Lots of weight behind that one. Not all the guns sound the same though. Right here, as they're climbing up the stairs, you can hear gunfire from above you, which is pretty cool. Oh, that gun sounds so good. So this part of the scene is pretty impressive because he makes a phone call, and I swear every speaker in the room is lit up with gunfire, and yet somehow you're able to kind of hear what he's talking about with his wife. Also, the helicopter blades here, they sound like there's a little bit of above you kind of noise. But right here, every single speaker, sides, rears, you can kind of hear some of that wind starting to pick up, and yet his dialogue with his wife comes through. So this last bit, the wind and the sand is just swirling all around you. Kind of gives you this impression that you're stuck with these soldiers. Alright, so I give this scene a 4, and there's several reasons why. The first is the gunshots from some of the guns are really heavy hitting. The second is the wind right here. It gives you this nice, really enveloping sound. And then finally, every speaker is just going off with gunshots, and it's a very, very chaotic scene. Alright, so this last scene starts around the 1 hour, 58 minute, and 20-second mark. And you get some nice quiet moments with the sniper rifle.
Miss, 3 inches to the right. Come on, Wayne, you can do better than that.
There's a lot of echoing that kind of permeates the soundstage, which is nice. And each shot has a nice, has some nice weight to it.
Nice.
So the sound kind of ripples throughout, which is pretty nice. I give the scene a 3. There's decent weight to each shot. There's about 4 or 5 shots total, and it's kind of nice and quiet. All you hear are the gunshots, so it kind of isolates the shots so that you can hear them better. Alright, after averaging out the scores, we get 3.4 legendary brown notes out of 5. The tank scene in the opening really makes it sound like I'm standing nearby. It carries a lot of weight for the brief moments it's on screen. The reason I didn't go with the 5 is because there are better sounding tank scenes out there. One movie that comes to mind is 2014's Fury. The shootout at the end of the movie has tons of side and back surround activity, and some of the guns pack a big punch. When the wind picks up at the very end, you're almost tricked into being in the middle of all this craziness. For a movie that's about a sniper, I was a little disappointed in the actual shots coming from the sniper rifles. They sound good, don't get me wrong, but they don't carry the weight of a sniper rifle from a movie like, say, The Accountant. Taken as a whole, however, the final shootout is fun from beginning to end. If you're looking for a war film to demo, I wouldn't choose this one. There are others that hit way harder. That being said, if you find yourself watching this, there are a couple of moments where you should definitely turn it up. War movies are probably some of my favorite films to watch. I think it's because they tend to throw you right in the thick of things. Think the opening of Saving Private Ryan. This movie definitely had moments where I felt like I was there with Chris Kyle. This isn't the best war film out there, but I think it did a great job conveying who Chris Kyle was, and the emotions that he had to deal with both on and off the battlefield. Clint Eastwood really has found a nice niche in telling stories based on real-life events. Except for the 15 to 17 of Paris. That was a disaster. Bradley Cooper was a convincing soldier in this movie. The part where he almost had to shoot the little boy with the rocket launcher was intense. Okay, that wraps up another review. Come back next week for a new one. Thanks for watching.